Howdy from Good Hope, Equestrian and Regenerative Farm. This is Brett Bass. Happy to be here. Today I'm going to be installing this beautiful foundation on my Layens frames. This is imported beeswax from Spain, from a isolated mountain region that supposedly has no pesticides, or at least less than most areas in the world. So this is premium beeswax, especially if you're doing natural beekeeping. You want to try to keep your bees as far away from those chemicals as possible. What foundation is and why it's good in your frames is basically a little starting point. You can see it has the cell pattern on it, and it's a starting point for your bees, so they'll build their comb straight down on these frames. When you don't put foundation, sometimes they'll start building comb and they'll do what's called cross combing, where they connect the comb on this side over to this side, so you can't remove your frames one at a time. It just makes a big old mess. You have to do surgery on your frames later. So the way you can avoid that, if you're going to have your bees draw their own comb, is by putting in foundation. I'm also only going to be putting 3-inch strips of foundation, not all the way down on the frames, because I don't have an extractor for honey. So I'm going to be doing what's called a crush and strain method. So it'll be to my benefit to be able to just cut out comb with a knife when they finish drawing it all out and filling it with honey and such. So I'm going to cut 3-inch sections from this, and that's what we're going to start with. I'll show you the next step after that. There we go. Got a nice 3-inch strip of foundation. There'll be one of these at the top of each frame. I'm going to go ahead and cut these up the way I need them. And here comes step 2. What we have here is an old laptop charger that Dad and Peggy's dog Zeke ripped up and exposed the wires, so I didn't mind butchering it. And I've got some alligator clips attached to the ground in the hot wire with the other one taped off. And as you can see, these frames have the wires conveniently sticking up at the bottom where you can connect those alligator clips. And I'll hit the switch on the surge protector, and it'll slowly start to heat those wires up, and the wax will melt to the wires, and then I'll turn it off before it melts all the way through, and you'll have a nice solid bind for your foundation to your frame. And that way I don't have to worry about the bees cross combing when they start building out their comb. We're going to do it. All right. Make sure that's off. It is. So these are not hot. Hook up one. Hook up the other. Hit the switch. Now we're watching the wires, making sure that they don't come melting through the wax. But I can see them now. I can see the lines. And I think that's probably good. Apply a little pressure over here, since it doesn't seem to have gotten as hot, or just didn't have any down pressure on it. Alright, double check that's off. Take off our alligator clips. And what do we got? Looks like those things are in there good. There's the side we were looking at. There's the other side. As you can see, they're stuck on there well. They're not coming out. So that's the idea. It puts our foundation in the right spot, melts it into place, and the bees will build us some nice straight comb as a result of this. This is the last frame. I've got it zoomed in on the foundation there for you so you can see what we're looking for. It's been about 10 seconds. I'm just waiting until I can see that wire start to come through a little bit. Not too much. And as you can see, I have it tilted up. That's to keep the foundation flush with the top of it. It's flipped off. So I'm going to disconnect these guys. Zoom the camera out and show you again. All right, here's the back side of what we just did. Bring that in tight, as you can see. It's melted itself nicely into the wax. And the wax is suspended there firmly. It won't fall out. So the bees have a solid place to build their comb. I'm excited. That's 19 frames. Ready to get some wild bees in my hive. And we got it done, folks. The foundation is in all the frames except for one that I have out in the freezer because I have some drawn comb on it. But I want to give a shout out to Alderman Farms, who had a good tutorial on how to do the laptop charger trick. The suggestion does come on the paperwork from Dr. Leo Sharashkin at horizontalhive.com, but it wasn't really very specific. And watching Alderman Farms' YouTube video really helped me get it done. So shout out to them, and thanks for the informative video, and hopefully you find this informative, folks. This is Brett Bass at Good Hope Equestrian and Regenerative Farm, signing off. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content.